så jävla ballt. Jag vet inte 17 om det blir med på film. Kanske om jag täcker solen. Men vilken jädra ark, vilken... Ja, det är häftigt. Mycket häftigt.
That out, everybody. That's the sun right there, right? That's the sun. What is that? That. Dang. That's unreal.
Have you ever seen something like this in the sky? It looks like a rainbow all around the sunshine. It's actually called a halo, or in this case, a sun halo. This picture was sent into the WMUR.com local section of our website from the Moore Dam in Littleton a few years ago. And you can actually make out some high clouds in between the sunshine and where this halo is. And that's what plays really a key role in what creates this halo. So what's happening is we're getting some light coming from, of course, the sunshine. And as that interacts with these high clouds, cirrostratus clouds, which are essentially ice crystals, as the light comes into contact with those ice crystals, it bends the light and eventually will create this halo, or the 360-degree circle around the sunshine. It can also happen at night too, but you need that certain type of cloud cover. Again, the high clouds that contain ice crystals that will make this big circle around either the sun or the moon. So now you know exactly what's been happening when you see that circle or halo around the sun or the moon.
Well, it's similar to a rainbow, but what it is actually a halo. It's a solar halo, and we have these ice crystals from these high cirrus clouds that are floating on by, and as the light from the sun goes through those ice crystals, it actually bends the light into the colors of the rainbow, and you get this arc around the sun, and that's what we call the solar halo. It's a neat thing to see. They happen quite frequently when we have the high, thin cirrus clouds moving on through, but yeah, you got to be looking up. And don't look directly at the sun, but it can be a spectacular sight. That's a beautiful video. Thanks for sending that in.
Well, the phenomenon is, well, it's a halo around the sun, and it happens because you get the right kind of clouds in the sky overhead, and the sunlight just gets refracted through the ice crystals in the clouds the right way to produce this halo. And it's actually not that rare a phenomenon. Maybe not, that's certainly not every day, but maybe every few days or every other week, something like that. You usually be able to see a halo around the sun for at least a little bit. The one today maybe was a little bit brighter, a little bit more colorful, but the phenomenon is actually pretty common, even for Florida.
One of the strangest places on the ocean's floor was only just discovered in the 1990s. I might agree as one of a handful of people to ever see it in person.
Without a doubt, one of the most amazing things that I had ever seen in the bottom of the ocean, and it was while filming for Blue Planet. It was in the Gulf of Mexico. And I noticed there's something out in the distance, couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut that was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of steam over it. And then I looked, and there was water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of mussels. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute. I'm already underwater. We went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off, and as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it.
Little islands of mussels in there.
They'll make a living wherever they can.
Is that white in the middle? Is that salt or is that bacterial mass?
It's barite. It's barium sulfate.
Oh.
It's precipitating out of the brine. Yeah, that's all barite. That barite precipitate. And then if you, Bob, if you look down in this corner, in the lower right-hand corner of that little pool, the side pool, I think you might see the brine actually seeping out of that little hole in the wall down there.
You can see the shimmering of the surface of the brine. So it's a different density. It's super salty water, and that's what's making it compress and stay almost like this underwater lake that you're seeing.
Oh yeah, you can see it there on the right.
Yeah, just
by
how
it's
like a current.
Are.
You can see the current.
Let me go in just again.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary. Oh my gosh, look at that.
It's just.
Whoa, look at the...
It's just mind-boggling to see ripples on the bottom of the ocean.
Yes, it's like a lake, and it just... People keep now feverishly typing in what makes it not mix, and
because it's 3 to 4 times the salinity of seawater.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
acting
look at
more
that
like
one.
a solid.
We're stirring it up now.
Yeah. That's good because we're already kind of in the.
I was going to switch it to bubble cam.
They're just starting to dip the front porch in there.
A lake in an ocean.
Charles, how does it compare to the other brine pools we've been in so far today?
So we have low methane than the two previous ones.
Was that what you were expecting to see?
Yeah.
Great. Interesting.
Can I zoom in on that real quick?
Yeah, that's super neat.
Sure. What are you zooming on?
And that curl right down there?
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that that's just the densities of the water, the super salty, briny water and the surrounding seawater.
It's just cool.
Yes. And then the sediment also, the dark black sediment.
We know the Earth isn't flat, in any sense of the word. We see mountains, valleys, hills, and holes. And the seafloor is just as diverse a landscape. But did you know that in certain places on the seafloor, like in the Gulf of Mexico, there are even underwater lakes and rivers? How is that possible? Well, these lakes and rivers form when seawater seeps up through thick layers of salt, which are present beneath the seafloor. As the water seeps up, it dissolves the salt layer, causing it to collapse and form depressions. The dissolved salt makes the water denser. And because it is denser than the water around it, it will settle into the depressions, forming a river or lake. These underwater lakes and rivers can be as small as a few feet across or as large as a few miles long. They're even very similar to lakes and rivers on land, with shorelines, surfaces, even waves. While we've come a long way in our understanding of the ocean, most places are still unexplored, and many questions are unanswered.
Questions unanswered. How exactly do sprites form, and what accounts for their peculiar shape? For an instant, a giant red flash appeared. On replay, they can see beautiful shafts of light thrusting upwards towards space. The mysterious sprite in all its glory. Then, the sprites keep coming. On board, the team reviews the stunning and unique images. This sprite was shaped like a mangrove tree. It's been captured in more detail than any sprite until now.
Yeah, very big jellyfish. It's pretty. Very pretty.
It indeed looks like a jellyfish with many tentacles. Sprites of many different forms appear, one after another. Seen up close, they have a variety of shapes. Eventually, a sprite appears that demands special attention. The umbrella-like top of this sprite reaches an altitude of around 60 miles. This is the momentary flash of a sprite taken by the super-sensitive camera. And when shot by the high-speed camera, it looks like this. In just a few hundredths of a second, countless particles of light rain down. This is the first time a sprite's formation has ever been revealed in such detail. What else will the footage reveal? At first glance, this sprite may seem to burst up from the storm clouds towards space. But when seen by the high-speed camera, the movement looks completely different. Bursts of light appear out of the center, spreading both up and down. In fact, when examined in slow motion, it appears that sprite formation is more complicated than early reports had indicated. And what about this sprite shaped like angels' wings? With this one too, bursts of light suddenly appear out of darkness. They go down, and the next moment up, and then down again. They change their direction as they unfold. So what is really happening? Within the sprite, electrons are colliding with charged particles in the atmosphere, creating a pathway for the electrons to travel. Where they go depends on the concentration of electrons and the composition of the atmosphere. Sprites are beautiful and intriguing. But do they actually have a role to play in Earth's upper atmosphere? Once the electrons cut open a path, the atmosphere around it becomes highly electrified.